So appScatter is a self-serve platform that allows our customers to distribute their apps across multiple app stores. Once the apps are distributed, we then give them the tools to monitor and manage those apps across those stores, whether it's analysing data or doing updates. In the process of doing this, we're collecting or we're building the largest repository of app data in the world. We're currently tracking close to 1 billion unique app URLs. I should explain really what a unique app URL is for the viewers. If you take Angry Birds on the Apple Store in the UK is one app. Angry Birds on the Apple Store in France is the same app, but it's a different version. So Angry Birds is on 156 territories. So if you take the 2.4 million apps that are in Apple, multiply it by the amount of territories, then do the same for Google and the territories, and for the other 48 stores that we currently support, that's how you get close to the billion number. For a developer, distributing his app onto multiple stores is a huge time resource. If you take, for example, if you just wanted to distribute your app onto 5 stores, you would have to go to each store individually, register, then go back to each store individually and submit your app. You would then go through an approval process which can vary from store to store. Just to go onto 10 stores with one app could take a developer up to a week of administration work. So by using the appScatter platform, they can put the app onto the platform once. We will check for compatibility with all the stores, give them guidance around the submission, and when they're ready to submit, they just have to do it with the click of one button, and they are distributed onto that store. Furthermore, when they do updates, they just have to put the update once onto appScatter and hit go, and they've updated, rather than go to each store and do that. Once they're on the stores, they get their sales and download data consolidated in one place for them. If they went to each store and did it individually, they would have to go to each store, get their sales and download data each day, and then consolidate it themselves. As I said, it's a huge time-saving tool. So at appScatter, we're currently monitoring over 300 app stores globally. There's a misconception that the app stores outside of the big 2 are irrelevant because of their size. This isn't true. The big 2 stores represent 50% of global downloads, which means that the other 50% is coming from the other stores. We've broken it into 4 areas. So your operating systems all have app stores, Apple, Google. You then have your wireless carriers. 85% of wireless carriers globally have app stores. A good example here is MTN in Africa, who are actually in Africa bigger than Apple Store, because in Africa they do everything via carrier billing, whereas Apple and Google you have to put credit card details into it. You then have your manufacturers like Samsung, HTC, LG all have app stores. In addition to that, they have smart TVs which have progressed in the last 5 years. These all have app stores as well. And then you have your independents like Amazon and Tencent in China. Tencent probably being the largest store in the world that has 800 million active users. The other stores this year alone have represented over 70 billion downloads. appScatter is a B2B self-serve platform. We price it on a subscription model and it's per seat or per user and per app. We don't take any revenue from the developer's sales at all. We started accepting paying customers in January 2017, and it's a full range of customers, from the single developer with one app that is just looking for a global reach and ease of management, to large insurance companies that have a portfolio of 250 apps that are looking of a centralized way to manage that portfolio and ensure brand consistency and security. So prior to our IPO, we had a waiting list of 10,000 businesses looking to use the appScatter platform. Since our public launch in November, that 10,000 are now free users within the system, and we are actively working to convert them into paying customers. In January 2018, we're going to be launching the appScatter Marketplace. The appScatter Marketplace will allow third-party tools to be integrated into the platform. This will greatly enhance our customers' experience and further integrate appScatter into our customers' businesses. These add-ons will range from analytics tools such as Google Analytics or Flurry, mobile advertising companies, and general business tools, so whether it's Atlassian Jira, Trello, Xero or Sage. Some of these will be free and some of them will be paid. So there are 3 reasons that I would recommend you invest in appScatter. Number 1 is we're an early stage business with first mover advantage. There is no other company on the globe that automates the distribution of apps to iOS and Android stores. So secondly, we have an attractive business model that is highly scalable, that is a cloud-based SaaS platform that allows us to ramp up revenues without increasing our base cost dramatically. And lastly, the marketplace just keeps on growing. If you go back 10 years when the Apple Store first opened, most people just downloaded an app to play a game. Now apps have integrated themselves into everybody's life without us really realising it. We use them to do our banking. I have an app that tells me whether I need to take an umbrella to work in the morning. We have apps that will turn our lights on, tell if our fridge is empty. We have apps that will order us a taxi. Without us knowing, we are becoming more and more dependent on apps. And as the Internet of Things and smart homes continue to progress, this is only going to get bigger. Outside of that, you've got the automotive industry. You've got the likes of Volvo, who have just signed an exclusive deal with Android. This is a marketplace that is not going to shrink. It's just going to keep on growing.